Hello and welcome. It's Treasure Chest Tuesday. This is our weekly opportunity to receive support, love, guidance, wisdom, strength, movement forward from me at Soul Mastery, Susan Taylor Shire, my illustrious guides that are connected to your incredible guides, directly to you and your heart and soul. So today, let's talk about this whole matter of divisiveness, separation, and judgment. Ugh. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? As we move it into empathy, understanding, and connection. That sounds much better, doesn't it? Isn't that where we want to be? I'd say. So, I have noticed in the last number of months that as I learn how to speak up for myself more and come forward vulnerably and directly and clearly and compassionately, that the old patterns of judgment just come walking along. It's fascinating. So, and in this world, the level of divisiveness, which relates to judgment, is really up. Putting people down, bullying them, separating, pushing people away, people saying my opinion matters and yours doesn't at all. That's really up right now, and it is such a powerless position when you think about it. And it's fueled by the fact that we are judging others all the time. We all know about self-judgment, but let's talk about judging others. And it may seem small at times. It may seem like, oh, I'm not really doing much, but it adds to the ocean of judgment. I often say that the biggest wound is the wound of separation. It's really the only one. Our separation from spirit. And when we are judging, guess what we're doing? We're just cutting ourselves right off from spirit, its perception, its empathy, and its understanding, and its compassion. And we're cutting ourselves off from others. And here we are talking about wanting world peace and oneness. And every time we take a slice away from that, every time we judge, we take a slice away from bringing peace and love and understanding oneness. Now, oneness does not mean that we need to be exactly like everyone and hug everyone we see on the street at all. That is not what I'm talking about. But we can't be in our heart and judge at the same time. Let's give you some examples. So for instance, because I'm what I call myself a spiritual myth buster, I really like being a catalyst for change and seeing spirituality in whole new ways. And I have a tendency sometimes to evoke my sense of righteousness in how I see things, I'll be honest about that, by comparing myself to others and saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe the way he or she is talking and they say they're spiritual. I can't believe the way they are a teacher and mentor, and they are so conceptual and so out of their heart. Who am I to say how a person needs to be? And who am I to say that someone needs to be perfect? And who am I to say that their weakness is not okay? I have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. We may be strong in certain areas and not so strong in other areas. It's not up to me to judge and say they should be doing it differently. And why do I do that? To live up to my standards. We really have to ask ourselves why we judge other people. Some of it is because we want others to be on our same page, right? I want more people to be on the page with me of what matters to me. The other is envy. We call it jealousy, but really it's envy. And that envy is usually for a quality of spirit or experience that that person is exuding. So what can you do about that? When you see someone that looks more beautiful than you in your eyes, more together, more spiritual, more whatever it is, they seem like they've got more money, whatever it is, instead of pushing them away and separating and putting them down and saying, well, what I want you to do, ... what I want you to do is go, wow, they seem to be more spiritual than me, or they seem to be more intuitive, or they are definitely more beautiful than me. That's a part of you wanting to raise up your level of how you are intuitively, in your sense of beauty from the inside out, in your sense of inner abundance. It's all we can do when those things come up, is say to ourselves, wow, that's something I want. So I'm going to create more of that, rather than putting the other person down for having it. You see how that works? Isn't it amazing? So we can't take care of other people and try to change them. We can only change ourselves and take care of our needs. It's so important for us to see this and really act on it, because it's vital when we talk about how separated and divisive and polarized and crazy this world is, to make sure that we're not adding to that craziness by pushing everyone and everything away, because it doesn't line up with our perfect way of seeing life. We all see it differently. Thank goodness. So, for more compassion, empathy, and a sense of understanding of others, we have to be in our heart. And that's what I'm going to say to you now. Use your perception. When you're in a discerning, perceptive, intuitive place, when you're in your heart, you have understanding for where another one is. It's just where they are, and you accept them. You accept their weaknesses because you accept your own weaknesses, and you know you aren't perfect, and you can't expect them to be perfect. So, this week I want you to just focus on greater empathy and understanding of others. They are where they are. It's not even forgiving them, it's just accepting they are where they are, and I love me exactly the way I am, and I want to create more from my heart in my life. So, and if you find yourself overly compassionate, always giving, too empathetic, and trying to be too understanding and giving yourself away all the time, whoa, I have the opportunity for you. Either side of the coin, the upcoming immersion that starts November 2nd, Coming Home, Mastering Your Divine Union Embodied to Master Your Life on Earth, is coming up for 15 days. And I would love to see you join me for that. There's lots more on my website and in my emails about that. It's a grand opportunity to move out of overwhelm, which makes us feel like we have to judge and push away when we get into overwhelm, into a sense of strength, of peace and assurance inside that our gifts matter and we have something tremendous to bring, and we have space to co-create with others, and particularly with the divine, which is always there for us. Much love and blessings to you. Have a fabulous week.